Right. So today, I will just give you a brief introduction to the way we conduct the classes and also for your syllabus. And then I want to start the topic one as well. Okay. First, I will just use the introduction to A-level ICT presentation I have prepared. So I have given you the Google Classroom access. Okay. All of you guys, I think only two of you have so far uh, accepted the request. So if you haven't got the invitation, I have even sent it with your WhatsApp. So make sure you click on that invitation and log in using the email address given to us so that you can access it, because all the other study materials are available in the Google Classroom. Okay. So either you can use Google Classroom app, or if you are using laptop or something like that tab, you can even use the web interface. Okay. Right. So if you have any issue accessing, just let me know. Okay. Right. So first I will go through the introduction to A-level ICT presentation, which is available under syllabus and official materials. That is the topic one in your classwork tab. Okay. Introduction to A-level ICT. So from there you can download the PDF file, and also the A-level ICT syllabus is also I have uploaded, so that you can download that also. Okay. From the Google Classroom. Okay. Anyway, I have shared you this document because I saw some of you guys have not yet accepted the Google Classroom invitation. Okay. Right. So let me quickly go through that. Then we want to start our topic one as well. Right. So maybe some of you guys are already attending other A-level classes. Uh, so therefore, you must have a little bit of idea about your A-level. So by the way, I'm Nalaka Gamage. So I have been working in the ICT field as a software engineer, tech lead, and architect for about 8 years. So then I moved on to the teaching. So mainly I'm involving in conducting lectures for undergraduate students. But for last 4 years, I have been conducting A-level ICT classes, just one batch usually, online class. Okay. Uh, so qualification wise, I'm graduate from Morato University as engineering engineer. So then I got my MSc in IT as well. Okay. So I have worked in three organizations as a software engineer, tech lead, and architect. That is IFS, Sweden-based software development company in Sri Lanka, Virtusa, another multinational company, and John Keys Computer Systems, which is one of the renowned Sri Lankan business organization. Okay, right. So that is a little bit of my background. Uh, right. So it's about all A-level ICT. So remember, you guys have passed your kids level. Okay. So then you guys moved into your childhood, like grade 1 to 5. So then the teenager period, maybe up to O level. So this guy, so during your A level, you will be transiting from teenager to adult. Okay. So therefore, this is a difficult time period for you guys, because sometimes you don't understand yourself. Okay. So therefore, during your A level, so you need to take a lot of responsibilities. That transition must happen. Okay. So taking more and more responsibilities and more and more serious. So that is why we call it advanced level. Right. Of course. So that is a transition. So gradually you need to take up that challenge. Okay. Right. So that is something you must keep it in mind, because unlike your O level, A level is pretty serious stuff. A level is pretty competitive in Sri Lanka as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So the first thing you need to remember is, so you guys are now getting closer and closer into your adulthood. So therefore, be more and more more and more serious, more and more responsible. Okay, right. So as I told you, so in A level, unlike O level, ordinary level, so you learn things in great depth. Okay, so that is why you are asked to pick whatever 3 subjects you like. Unlike in O level, where there are compulsory subjects, but in A level, you pick the subjects so that you like those subjects, you enjoy, right? You are good at, because you are going to get into depth, some seriousness. Okay, and also this is 2 years work. It's like a marathon, right? It's a marathon which you need to plan out and see through as a success. And the final one, which I don't like much, that is whether you like it or not. Of course, I don't like it. A level is little bit competitive in Sri Lanka, but it's getting less and less competitive because of there are more and more opportunities with private universities and so on. Especially for ICT students, it is not very fierce competition like bio students, especially bio students. They are having that very high competition because simply because only government has a medical college, right? But you guys, I don't think that it is very competitive. That is good news. But at the same time, be very serious, right? Be very serious, because if you can get into the higher education through free modes, that is advantage for you guys, and it's a big relief for your parents as well. Okay, so therefore, don't relax saying that okay, I'm doing ICT, so therefore I don't have that pressure, but that competitiveness is still there. Okay, that competitiveness is still there for you, right? So A level ICT subject, right? So the first of all, I would like to say that though we call it A level ICT, in reality, your subject is basically computer science. Computer science. Okay, so if you look at your A level ICT syllabus together with computer science syllabus of maybe Edexcel, right? Cambridge, you will find that your A-level ICT syllabus goes into more depth than computer science, because in those countries or those London A-level and so on, they have 2 subjects: ICT, computer science, right? Computer science. So in those exams like Edexcel, ICT subject is very easy. Computer science subject is fairly challenging. Basically, ICT subject, they just look at the very basic knowledge about word processing, spreadsheets, basics of graphics. So those are the things they test in ICT subject. But in the computer science subject only, they test representing data in computer architecture, programming, web development in great depth. Okay. But in Sri Lanka, we don't have computer science subject, unfortunately. And we have only ICT subject, A-level ICT. This is a funny country. In your A-level ICT, so they cover more than the Cambridge or Edexcel computer science syllabus. So therefore, don't get fooled thinking that I'm doing A-level ICT. Actually, you are doing more complicated subject than computer science. Okay, so don't think that I'm fooling you guys by giving you false information. I can take the 2 syllabus one by one. I can compare and show you which one goes to a higher depth. I don't want to even to compare A-level ICT syllabus with these guys ICT syllabus. So these guys IT syllabus is something like our O-level ICT syllabus. So what I'm telling is your A-level ICT syllabus is more advanced than the computer science syllabus of the foreign uh, advanced level programs. So therefore, don't think that this is easy. This is easy. This is fairly challenging task. Okay, fairly challenging task. And the other thing is, because of this high competition, so anyone can select A-level ICT subject, anyone, right? So not only the technology students, so the math students also select A-level ICT. A lot of students prefer not to do chemistry and rather do ICT, all right? So likewise, the math students are there, bio students are there, technology students are there, commerce students are there, art students are there. And usually the good students prefer to pick this subject, right? Good students, those students who are having confidence. So therefore, this is very competitive. Okay, so therefore that is good actually. So you have to compete with those good students coming from different fields, right? Maths side, bio side. Actually, bio side, very few students comes, but commerce, art, technology, and every field. Okay, especially when it comes to art, commerce, and so on. Usually, their best students select ICT. Okay, so therefore, don't take it lightly. It's good, right? So we have a very good mixture and so on. At the same time, be mindful about this. Okay, right. So this is the overview of the A-level ICT syllabus. So this is basically something like a computer science syllabus in other countries. So you have 13 topics. 14th one is not a topic, actually, it's a project which is optional. So therefore, we'll take 13 topics. Okay. So out of those 13 topics, so we have the concept of ICT. That is what we want to start today, hopefully. Introduction to computer, representing data in computer, fundamentals of digital circuit, including the Boolean logic, operating systems, networking, system analysis and design, database, programming, web development, Internet of Things, ICT in business, new trends, and future directions of ICT. So those are the 13 topics for your 2 years. Right? For your 2 years. So this is the best time for you to look at the syllabus. Plan out things. Right? Plan out things. Look at the syllabus. Don't worry, right? Don't be afraid to look at the syllabus. So you have 13 topics. Okay. Now, out of 13 topics, you can see this is number of periods allocated for each and every topic. So here red topics are the topics where you have been allocated more number of periods. Like here you can see 28, 22, 18, 26, 22, just 20s, right? So here 15, 12, 12. But here you can see 50, 68, 50, 74, 60. So therefore, if you look at the number of periods allocated for each topic, it's something like this. Right? It goes like this and pretty, okay, let me draw it slightly better. Goes like this. No, I think it's even something like this. And quick down. So this is where the middle subtopics like networking, programming, database, and so on. So your big topics are in the middle. The first few topics take less time. The last few topics take little time. The middle topics are the bigger topics. The middle topics means the programming topic, networking topic, database topic. So that is how they have prepared your syllabus. Small topics at the beginning and end, the big topic at the middle. And those big topics are the technical topics, like the programming, database, web development, networking. Web development, programming, database, networking. So only theory topic, the big theory topic is system analysis and design. All the other topics are, the big topics are the technical topics. Okay. And complexity wise also, so this is something I have done this classification. This is of course the official number of periods from the uh, education department. So you can see that the middle topics are somewhat complex topics. Other than the system analysis and design, which is, I told you, theories topic. So the middle topics are more complex. The first few topics and the last topics are the easy topics. Okay, last few topics are the easier topics. So therefore, we expect to spend more time in the middle topics. Okay, middle topics, and they are the more challenging topics. So likewise, you need to have idea about what is your syllabus is. You must have a plan. Okay, you must have a plan. Of course, we have a plan. So you must also have your individual plans. Okay, right. So if you have any questions at any time, you can ask. Okay. Of course, you can use the chat as well, or you can just talk at any time. Okay. You can just talk at any time, or you can use the chat. Okay. Right. Because so you may be having hundreds of questions, right? So because when you're starting a subject, so you must be having a lot of questions, right? Doubts that you want to clarify. So I'm here to help you guys. Okay. So these are the expectations from you guys. Okay. So that is, you must have a good attitude, set of skills which are prerequisite to do A-level ICT successfully, and some basic knowledge. Okay. Right. So when it comes to attitude means how you look at life. Okay. So remember, this is IT. Remember, we are living in the era of IT. IT is a technical subject. IT is the driving force of the modern humans. So therefore, if you like IT, if you want to get into IT field in the future also, maybe. So we expect you to be very positive, right? Constructive, quality conscious, productive attitude. Because it is IT professionals who build the future. It is IT professionals who pull the human civilization forward. Because that is why we say we are now in the IT era. So we have passed different eras like hunting era, agricultural era, industrialization. But now we are into the IT. Actually, we have been in the IT for quite some time now. So we are the forerunners. So there is a lot of expectation, lot of opportunities for IT professionals. At the same time, it is a lot of responsibilities, a lot of seriousness. Okay, so that is the attitude we need, positive attitude, who are willing to go forward, constructive. You are the guys who are going to build things, information systems, robotics. So you are the guys who are going to do some quality things, not just building something, build some quality systems. And also using information technology, ICT, we improve the productivity of others. We improve the productivity of others. So then, first of all, we must be productive. Right? We must be productive. Whatever we are doing, we must be really quality conscious. Whatever we do, we must do it in a high quality. That must be our attitude. That is the expectation from the attitude wise. And that is the most important thing. So that is the number one. Okay. Can do attitude, positive attitude, constructive attitude, quality conscious. So then skills, because you need skills to finish this A-level ICT course and get a good result, and hopefully possibly getting into the IT field, maybe higher studies, getting into IT. It doesn't mean that all of you guys must be in the IT field, right? So maybe you guys are eyeing for some other field, like maybe business, some other fields, maybe IT is you're just the third subject. That is fine. So I don't expect every one of you guys ended up in IT field. But when you're doing ICT subject, think like you want to be ICT professional one day. Maybe actually you want to do, you don't want. But when you're following ICT, just think like ICT professional. Okay. So therefore try to build those skills as well. Because you're not going to waste those skills, because we are getting into more and more deep into the information era. Right? Artificial intelligence, knowledge era, and so on. Okay. So therefore, whatever you learn, it's going to be really benefit for you. It's not going to waste your time. Okay. Right. Skill wise. So these are the expectations. Communication skills. Because you need to learn new things a lot. So one of the important skill for learning, speed up your learning, is to communicate. Get things clarified. If something is not very clear, ask questions. Discuss with others. Okay. And the number 2 is logical and critical thinking, because IT is a formal science. Computer science is formal science. So in order to understand how the computer works, how to write programs, how to design a database, you must be a logical thinker. So that means you must think logically. Logically. You know what is mean by think logically. Logically means you take decisions based on logic, not based on hopes, faith, and so on. Luck, no, that is not, that must not be your driving force. It's not luck, it's not hope. It must be logical reasoning. If I do this logically, this must be the result. That is what logical thinkers do. Critical thinkers, they question things. They don't take anything for granted. And of course, the basic computer and internet skills, especially since you guys are planning to do it in online, and the leadership. Because in online education, right? So there's two type of education: student-centric education, teacher-centric education. Right? Student-centric, teacher-centric. In teacher-centric, teacher is at the center. Students are around that teacher. So teacher is at the center. Teacher is controlling things. Okay. So students are just following instructions and so on. But in student-centric education, each individual student is in the center in his or her education. So teacher is just supporting, facilitating, site support. So in online education, you rely less and less on the teacher. So the teacher's role is just help you. So therefore, you need to take more responsibilities. You need to take more leadership. Okay? Because the teacher is not in the center controlling you. So you control your life, your studies, your education. So teachers facilitate, help, provide some guidelines. That is my task. Okay, so they have that mindset. So be very responsible, be very proactive, take initiatives. If things are not going well, you take actions. Don't let others or your teachers, parents to take actions. That is very important. So those are the expectations. Basic communication skills, basic ICT skills, and of course, a lot of logical and critical thinking, and your leadership skills. Knowledge-wise, very little. Because we will be starting from what is data, what is information, what is computer. Right? It's very basic. But if you have done O-level ICT, that is an advantage, but it is not a must. Okay, so the basic expectation is the basic knowledge on your English language, because we will be conducting classes in English language. Basic arithmetic means can you add numbers, subtract numbers, multiply numbers, divide numbers. That's it. That's it, nothing else. And a lot of general knowledge or the common sense. Common sense. That means you are a logical thinker, critical thinker. So no other knowledge is expected, because we start from what is computer, what is data. Everything we start from the beginning. But we get into the advanced level depth very soon as well. So therefore, we'll be doing it fast. We start from the very beginning, but in no times we will be in advanced topics. Okay. Right. So as I told you, this is online class. I don't like to use the word even class. These online sessions. Okay. So therefore, this is student-centric. Student-centric. So as I told you, teacher-centric, student-centric. So this is student-centric. Okay. So therefore, when it comes to online education, you must be a self-motivated student. So I am not going to push you. Maybe your parents little bit, it depends on your parents, okay? But definitely I'm not going to push any of you guys. So if you enjoy that, your freedom, no one is pushing me, right? So this is a good place for you. But at the same time, be proactive, be responsible. So when you are more and more responsible, no one is going to push you. When you are not responsible, everyone is controlling you because they don't trust you. They don't trust you. They don't trust whether you study by yourself. They don't trust whether you are responsible. So then they keep following you. Then they keep controlling you. That is not their problem actually. That is basically your problem. So you must win your freedom. How do you win your freedom? Be responsible. Be proactive. So then others will gradually lose their control on you because they trust you. They trust you. So that trust you must win. Right? That trust you must win, and don't misuse that also at the same time, because that is, they give you that freedom with hoping that you are very responsible. So therefore, not only you must win it, you must keep that trust. So then you will also feel really comfortable, right? So when others are pushing you, do that, do this, and blah, 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 it's a headache for you, right? So the way to get out of that is not fighting with them. Rather, show that they don't need to do that. Okay. So be that, be responsible, be punctual, right? Attend the sessions, right? Do past papers, ask questions, get things clarified proactively. Okay, proactively. That is very important. Right? At the same time, yes, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. You guys are teenagers, right? So you guys have expectations and all those things. So we also went through that time period. But be responsible. Be honest to your studies. Okay. Right. So this is our teaching model. This is our teaching model. So I will make sure that you will get only relevant contents which are 100% compatible with the syllabus. Right? And I try to make it very simple, short. That means your notes and everything will be as short as possible. If I can remove one word, I will remove that. If a particular word is there, because it is essential, and I try to make it very clear. So our policy is relevant, simple, short, clear. So in the classes, we will be only discussing your subject matters, nothing else, no politics, social issues, nothing. Right? So that is why we are doing it only 2 hours. No storytelling, no. Okay. So then we'll use this what, why, how sequence. So whenever we take a concept, right? For example, what is computer? Why do we need computers? How does computer fulfill our needs? So today we'll take something like what is data? What is information? Why do we need information? How to convert data into information. So any topic, that is how we do. What, why, how. We are not at all hurried to go into how without spending considerable time understanding what and why. Okay. What and why. So our sessions are critical thinking driven. Okay. Critical thinking driven. And also we are not doing any spoon feeding. So no spoon feeding. I'm not teaching you guys. So my task is like a chef. My task is like a chef. So I try to prepare a good food, nutritious, tasty, and I will serve to the table. That's my task. I'm not going to feed you. I try to make it interesting. I try to make it relevant. I try to make it useful. And those who like, those who want, so you can use it and pass your exams getting into a good career, and so on. Okay. And also, we focus on quality, not the quantity. Notes wise, quality, not the quantity. Time period, quality. That is why we are doing it only 2 hours, not quantity, making it to 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 days. No, we only concentrate on quality because I am someone who hate going to schools. Right? I hate going to schools because the schools concentrated on quality, quantity. Monday, 7:30 to 1:30, Tuesday, 7:30 to 1:30, right? But I enjoyed my class studies in tuition classes because in 2 hours, the entire thing is given. So the things that we learn throughout 1 week, we get it in 2 hours. That is what I want to continue with you guys. Give you the essential, relevant things in a simple manner without any other bullshit. Politics, social things, nothing. So that you can get it from someone else. Maybe from your friends. And also I heavily believe that study must be an interesting task. It must be interesting task. Study must not be something boring. Study must not be something that is forced on you. Okay. So I enjoy studying. Even today, I like to learn new things. So many things I learn more than teach because I like. Okay. So therefore, I try to make it interesting, and also I hope you are doing the subject that you are really like, right? You really like, and you enjoy your life. So don't get into that mindset where you feel like studying is headache, studying is stress. So that means that maybe you have selected wrong subjects, or you have learned from wrong people, or maybe it's your own attitude issue. Okay. So therefore, make sure you select the proper subjects. You learn from proper people, proper study materials, and you have that proper mindset, proper positive attitude for your life. So education needs to give you the productivity, skills, so that you can enjoy your life later. Okay. Right, because this is online sessions, set of online sessions we are conducting. So you must get into that mindset as well. Because when you're doing online sessions, you have a lot of benefits. You don't have to travel. Right? Otherwise, some students spend more time for traveling than stay in the class. So then when they get into the class also, they are very stressful, tired. You don't have that issue. Right? Other thing is, if you miss a class, you have the recordings, which you don't get in a physical class usually. But at the same time, you get less attention. So that sometimes you will enjoy if you like freedom and if you are responsible. So therefore, these are some best practices if when you are doing online studies. So read the relevant notes before attending the session. Right? For example, next week we will move on to the introduction to computer. So make sure you read that note before coming to the session. Join the session. Of course, you are not coming to the session, rather you join the session. And during the session, whenever you have doubts or something not very clear, then and there ask questions. Use chat or you can talk. Then and there. Don't aggregate your doubts. Okay. And at the end of a session, we have given you some quizzes for each and every session topic, subtopic. So make sure you do those quizzes. So those quizzes are to check whether you have understood it. So don't wait until your A-level exams to check whether you have understood it. So make sure you do it by your own. No one is going to rate. It's only you can see your marks. Which questions you get the correct answer, which question you... Because sometimes what happens is you feel like you have understood it. But in reality, you have not understood it, because sometimes your brain play tricks with you, because sometimes your brain is also very lazy. So then your brain will say, yes, yes, you have understood it, because then you don't have to think. Your brain can relax. So how to double check that? Do the quizzes. So when you do the quizzes, you can double check whether you have understood it or not. Okay. So then you can spend a little bit more time. And also, if you miss a particular session, make sure you go through the recordings. Okay. And also use the WhatsApp group at any time, because when the class is not there, the Zoom chat is not available. At any time, if you have any issue, right, you can use that group chat. Or else, if you feel like it's a very specific question, you can even send a message, private message to me at any time. Usually within one day, I reply to all these chats. Especially if it is subject related things, I always try to reply them faster. Okay. It doesn't matter how many students chatting with me, I always reply to each and every one. Sometimes it might delay for 1 or 2 days. But always I will reply. If I don't reply, you can again repeat the question. So very rarely I miss a particular chat question, but I'm also human. I can make mistakes. I can sometimes miss answering a particular quiz chat. So you can again resend that message so that I get the attention. Okay. Right. So those are important. Those are important. So these are possible traps, because you don't need to get into those traps and get out. Rather, know that these are possible traps and you don't get into these traps. Okay. So one particular trap is you learn subjects that you don't like. So that is why I think you have that luxury to take your decisions, or even to change your decisions. Make sure you select subjects which you really like. Otherwise, it's going to be a headache for you. Okay. Of course, you can talk to your parents, friends, and so on. At the end, it is your choice. It is you need to take that decisions. Talking to all the others and considering all their points, valid points. But at the end, make sure you pick subjects you like. And also make sure you don't, sometimes students are too serious, attending so many classes, so many study materials, so many textbooks. Of course, you must have your study materials, textbooks, and so on, but don't use too many things. So then you will feel like these subjects are heavy. Of course, these subjects are heavy, but don't make it too heavy. And make it organized. Like you must have your syllabus with you, past papers with you from day one, or maybe first month. Within the first month, you need to find those things. Prepare your notes, short notes, those things you need to prepare, mind maps. So be organized. It's a marathon. So sometimes what happens is they try to be organized after, right, when the exam is 6 months away. That is not going to work. Not definitely for A-level IC. At the same time, don't be too serious. Because there are some students when we can see that this guy is stressed. This guy is too serious. So if you become too serious, again, nothing will get into your mind. Be serious, but don't be too serious. Don't be relaxed, don't be too serious. So you must spend considerable amount of time. Right? So then you can be very relaxed. The most important thing is you are relaxed. You are not stressed. Right? So those who do things in a proper way, organized way, they are very relaxed. So they really enjoy their life. Okay? And also make sure you focus on your studies, because I hope almost all of you guys, your main task, or sometimes your only task is for the next 2 years is your A level. Especially because you guys are from Sri Lanka. I know the attitude of the parents. Okay, so they will say, okay, study. We'll do all the things, necessary things. But in some other countries, that is not the case. That is not the case. So therefore, don't lose your focus, because sometimes that will be your only focus. Of course, I am not telling you that yes, you can focus on your other things like your sports and any other activities. Yes, but don't lose focus on your studies and don't be stressed. Actually, it is you yourself get into this stress if you don't do things properly. That means you don't have a plan, you are not organized, you lose focus, right? You overwork sometimes. So then at the end result is stress, especially when exams are nearing, because this is 2 years of the content they tested in exam, right? Which is very unfair also. That is why in a lot of other countries, they have divided this into two exams, A level 1, A level 2. But unfortunately in Sri Lanka, these 2 years content that they will test. So therefore be very relaxed. How to be relaxed? Depends, rely on your understanding contents, not memorizing things. Okay. Building your skills, confidence, understand. So that will make you very relaxed, not stress. But if you try to memorize things rather than understand concepts, right? Memorizing is not understand. So the key is try to understand concepts. See how things are related. Why do we need this? What are the better ways? So then your confidence is high. You are very relaxed. Right? You really like enjoy yourself. Okay. Right. And of course, yes, this course is conducted in English language. So I heavily recommend anyone doing A-level ICT to follow it in English. Follow it in English. Number one is ICT is fast evolving subjects. Its terminologies, technical terms, and everything is more meaningful, realistic in English language. And also, if you are doing programming, anyway, you write it in English, right? You don't write Python in Sinhala or Tamil. You don't write SQL in Sinhala or Tamil. You don't write HTML, CSS in Tamil or Sinhala or Hindi. So therefore, anyway, we are very much using these, when we are using technology, languages, anyway, we use English. And no one asks, care about using those in their native language because they know the headache. So therefore, it's very easy studying in English, these technical subjects, especially these high, fast evolving subjects. Second thing is you have access to unlimited resources. Internet is yours, right? Internet is there. Chat GPT is there. YouTube is there. So you have plenty of resources. You will be less and less, right? You will be less and less rely on others, teachers. You will be more and more independent. Right? You will be more and more independent when you study it in English. Because you have the internet, you have a lot of tutorials, online resources, chat GPT, generative AI, like, okay. And also you will get into more and more self-learning habits, which is good. That means you will be more and more independent if when you are doing it in English. But if you are doing it in Sinhala or Tamil, you will be more and more relying on your teachers. So worst case is you will be something like a, right? Uh, how do you call it? Slave of your teachers, because they have the knowledge, they acquire knowledge, and you need to get it from their mouth. But when you study it in English, right? So you get that toolkit. Okay, that is good for your confidence as well. Because at the end, whether you study it in Sinhala or Tamil or English, you get the same paper. Same paper. But those who studied in English, you have the access to all these resources. So you have a better, you have advantage over those who are doing it in Sinhala and Tamil language. Okay? Get that advantage. And also think about the long-term benefits of studying in English. If you have any doubts about doing this in English. And of course, I know that some of you guys have a little bit of doubts. Maybe you have done up to O level, you have done your studies in Sinhala or Tamil. So I am mindful of that. I'm mindful of that. Of course, some of you guys are pretty comfortable with studying it in English, but maybe some of you guys have doubts. So that is why consciously, mindfully, we prepare all our materials in simple English. When we conduct classes, right? When I conduct classes, I always use simple English just to make you comfortable. And in the exams, you don't have to write big answers, right? Stories and so on, right? Most of the time, you have a set of MCQs, then structured essay, just maybe 1 or 2 sentences. You just need to write, or maybe simple calculation. Other subjects also, other second paper, second part B also, if it is programming, database, you need to write some code and so on. So English is not going to be an issue at all. If you have any doubt about it, just get rid of that. Think about all the benefits you are going to get. Okay. Right. So that's it about the introduction. I just wanted to make it very brief because I want to concentrate more on your topic 1 because we want to start your syllabus and finish it on time with past papers and so on. Okay. Right. Do you have any questions about your A-level ICT course, syllabus, anything? Okay, especially about the syllabus and so on. Or else we can start our topic 1. Okay. Right. So I'll show you the topic 1 from the syllabus. So syllabus is available in the Google Classroom. Okay, so that is why I asked you to get the access to the Google Classroom. Under syllabus and official materials, the syllabus is available. Anyway, I can share it with the WhatsApp group because still some of you guys have not accepted the invitation. Okay. I just posted it to the WhatsApp group as well. In case you don't have the access to the Google Classroom, because it's very important that you are familiar with your syllabus. Okay. Right. So as I told you, you have 13 topics. 13 topics. If you, sorry, 12 topics if you just exclude the project. So today we want to start. So this is the plan. Today we will start topic number 1, concept of ICT. And parallelly, we will start topic number 2 also, not today, maybe next week. And we will parallelly do these 2 topics and finish it gradually. Okay. But from that point onwards, we will go one by one. Only at the beginning, we will start 2 topics because there's a reason for that. Because there are a lot of dependencies. We need to start from hardware side as well as conceptual side parallel. That is why we do these 2 topics parallelly. But from that point onward, we will go one by one according to your syllabus. So why we are going according to your syllabus? Because sometimes some of you guys are really concerned about your term test exams and so on as well. So that you don't get that issue. Okay. Right. So that is how you do it. So therefore, first we will start with concept of ICT. Maybe next week we can start introduction to computer and then gradually go through the 2 topics. Okay. And by the way, these 2 topics are small topics. As I told you, these are the big topics in the middle. Okay. Right. So I'll show you the syllabus for the topic number 1. That is concept of ICT. Okay. So I just rush through it. In which investigate the basic building block of information and their characteristics, life cycle of data versus information, definition of information, characteristic of valuable information, the need to handle large volumes and other complexities of data, applicability of information in day-to-day life like decision making, policy making, predictions, planning, scheduling, drawbacks of manual methods. Okay. infeasibility of applying manual methods where they can be harmful to humans, emergency of ICT era, use of informations in various domains, availability of technology related to information retrieval and sharing, development of computer networks and internet and World Wide Web, development of mobile communication, mobile computing and cloud computing. Still, I'm in the topic number 1. Abstract model of information creation like input, process and output. Its appropriateness to computer and ICT, hardware, software and human operators, steps in data processing, data gathering methods, some tools for data gathering, data validations, methods of data input, then applications of ICT. You can see huge topic, but we can do it within 4 sessions, maybe 1 month. Right? Benefits of caused by ICT, issues caused by ICT, that is social and political issues, confidentiality, stealing and phishing, piracy, security related things, ethics, copyright and intellectual property laws, plagiarism, license and unlicensed software, and so on. And that's it. So now then you are moving to this topic number 2. So I just want to give you a feeling about it. The topic number 1. So we just basically try to understand what is data, what is information, what is ICT, what are the usages of ICT, what are the concerns about using ICT, little bit of modern trends, and so on. Okay. So now you must have idea about what we are going to do when it comes to topic number 1. Then topic number 2 is more into the computer. What is computer architecture? Okay. The storage hierarchies, processing, and so on. Okay. By the way, topic 1 and topic 2 are the kid stuff. The serious stuff comes representing data, processing data like logic, operating systems, programming. So that is where the real advanced topics. Okay. Right. So let's move on. So therefore, we'll start the topic number 1. So the note for the topic number 1, part 1. So there are about 5 notes for your topic number 1. So that is, the other thing is you don't need to take notes. Okay, serious notes. So you can take your own casual notes. But don't try to take very serious notes because your note is given to you. Right? For example, for the topic 1, so this is the note, Introduction to ICT. So I try to make it simple, relevant, short. Okay, simple, relevant, short. So therefore, if you need to take any notes, first go through the note. That is why I asked you to read the note and come to the session. Okay, of course, the first day you may not be able to do that, but from the next day onwards. So therefore, other thing is if you have, I prefer you getting into the session using your laptop or desktop because you guys are doing ICT, right? So if you guys are doing ICT, right, minimum expectation is you have a computer. So you can't do ICT with your smartphone. So let's be realistic. So I'm not asking you to have a high-end computer, just a modest computer, desktop or laptop or tablet. And also when you attend online sessions, try to attend those using your rather than your smartphones or your parents' smartphones, try to attend using your laptop or desktop because you have better big screen, right? So when you go to physical class, right? So you see big screens, right? Lot of students, stages. So then you come to the online class and you try to work with smartphone, 3-4 inches. It doesn't work. Right? So therefore, try to, as much as possible, attend the sessions. Even when you watch recordings, use your laptop or desktop computer. Especially when you attend the sessions. And also, I don't like not I don't want to use the word like. I prefer you use the study materials in the PDF format. In that case, what I mean is, I don't want you to take printouts of these notes. So why don't you just use PDF? But again, that is if you have laptop or desktop to study. If you have a desktop or laptop to study, I prefer you guys use in the PDF rather than taking printouts. Right? And also we will keep updating your notes as well, because ICTs keep changing. Your exams are very competitive. We also try to improve the notes day by day. So therefore, the note that is given to you may not be the note available in your Google Classroom in 1 year's time. There will be slight changes, not big changes, slight changes, because we target 2026 A level. By 2026, the things the nature of your exams will be different. We can clearly see that the things are getting more and more advanced. So therefore, maybe we will add more and more contents to your slides as well here and there. So therefore, you can get that full benefit if you use the online version. Because we can update these PDF files then and there. And of course, if you change it, I will notify you saying that there's a new version. So therefore, try to use as much as possible the PDF itself. And also you can, if you have a pen or something, you can write it. For example, if you open a PDF file like this, so you can even take your side notes here. You can highlight. You can highlight. So use the technology. Use the technology. Sometimes what happens is your mindset is physical class. No. If you get into the online education, your mindset must be you are living in 2024. Right? You are more E-oriented. So this is your highlighter. This is how you take notes. Right? This is how you take notes. So try to get into that full transition into the e-learner, modern student, rather than try to mimic, copy things that you used to do in the physical class using computer. That is your mindset is physical, but you try to copy it from something else. So better approach is you get into this online education mood so that you get all the benefits, full benefits of that. Okay? Not just reducing your traveling time. Okay, right. So let's get into our topic number 1. So you can download this from the Google Classroom, and I have shared it with WhatsApp group as well. Right. So one final word before starting the topic. You must rely on what? Understanding. Right? You must rely on understand, not memorize. So this is bad guy. You try to understand concepts. Don't think too much about the exams. Don't think too much about the exams. Your task is understand, enjoy. It will give you the confidence. You will be relaxed. But if you just concentrate on and also naturally remembered, naturally, when you understand. It is not you memorize, it is naturally remembered. But if you try to memorize without understanding, so you will not like it. Right? You will be very sad because it's stressful. Right? Stressful. And it will not give you any confidence. You will be really, really stressed. The more the exams are nearing, the more you tend to forget things also. Because it's unnatural way you learn. You try to memorize. Memorize can without understanding the concepts. So understanding means study can adhyana. You see why is it there? What is that concept? How it is done? How it is related to other things? So that is what education is. So you must do study, not padam karna. Padam karna means someone's notes, right? So you just memorizing, thinking about the exams. That is the wrong way of studying. Okay. So just do it in the proper way. So your task is enjoy your life. Try to understand these things. If you feel like those are interesting, enjoy it. If you feel like useful, it further understand it. Okay. That is your task. Don't think too much about the exams. So the moment you think about exams, you forget about understanding, enjoying your life. Okay. Right. So therefore, let's do that. So introduction to ICT. Anyway, your subject is also ICT, right? So this is what we are going to look at in this particular subtopic under topic 1. Of course, we may not be able to finish it today. The evolution of ICT era, the data and information, what is system, what is an information system, what is communication, because communication is part of your subject name, right? C, communication. So I is your information, C is your communication. And what is computer-based information system, and little bit of new trends. Okay. Right. So little bit of history. So I told you that now we are living in the era of information or IT era. So we have passed different eras as human civilization. Okay. So we passed the hunting era. So then we moved on to the agricultural era. Agricultural era. People start cultivating things, settle. The concept of village, land ownership came in the agricultural era. About 10,000 years ago, we moved on to the agricultural era. So then we moved on to the industrial era, somewhere around 1800s, about 300, 400 years ago. Like science, technology, inventions, right? Machinery, electrical things, electronic things, industrialization. But no longer we are in industrialization. Oh, it doesn't mean that we have gone back, but now we are in information era. So we moved from industrial era to the information era somewhere around 1090s, 1990s, about 20, 30 years ago. So in information era, the driving force is information. So that is why a lot of guys are interested in getting into IT jobs. A lot of guys are interested in learning IT. They don't no longer very much interested in learning mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering. Of course, there are students. But the real trend is wave is information. No wonder because we are now into the information era. And these days, if someone asks what are the hot topics, so everyone will say artificial intelligence, generative AI, technology, social media, mobile computing, Internet of Things, robotics. Somehow those are related to IT. So therefore, remember we are living in the information era. Okay. And of course, we will be in the information era for another at least for 20, 30 years. And probably we will getting into the knowledge era. The era of artificial intelligence. Again, the importance of information is not going to be right left behind. Right. Remember, we live in information era. So our subject is information and communication technology. So you can't understand what is information is without first understanding what is data is. So once you understand data, you are in a better position to understand what is information. You are in better position to understand what is information is. Right. What is data? Right. Those who have not gone through the note, can someone tell me what is data? Anyone? So I don't ask a lot of questions. Occasionally I ask question. One thing is I just want to get your knowledge, right? Your skills, attitude. And also I just want to check whether you guys understand what I'm talking. Anyone? So I'm not expecting right answers, right? Because I have not explained you what is data yet. But you guys may have done ICT in maybe all level. What is data? So images, pictures, letters. Okay, so that is a good answer. Some examples of types of data. Actually, it is not what is data. But anyway, it's some sort of answer. So that is some examples of data. Types of data. Okay. That is basically types of data. If someone asks what is data, can you give a little bit more specific answer? At least now you have a starting point. Because remember, we are into the advanced level. In advanced level, you must be more and more serious. You must get out of that ordinary level mindset. Ordinary level. සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ mindset එක එළියට අවිල එන්න මොකද්ද? උසස් පෙළ. මෙතන උසස් කියන්නේ මේ ලොකුයි කියන එක නෙමෙයි. උසස් means advance. You go into more details. I don't know why in Sinhala we call it usas. It is advance. Advance means more serious. Okay. Can you give me example of a data? Just an example. Those who have done O-level ICT. So if I ask, can you give me example of a color? I can say red. So I'm asking something like that question. If someone asks, can you give me example of a sport? I will say rugby, cricket. So likewise, can you give me, if someone asks, can you give me example of a number? I will say 5. So I'm asking that kind of a very specific question. Can you give me example of a data? So if you feel like I'm asking unfair question, you can tell, okay, that is very unfair question. Because you guys have done a little bit of ICT, maybe grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those who have done. Can you give me example of a data? No one? Right. For example, say my name is a data. So my name is Nalaka. It's a data. Okay, it's a data. My contact number is, that is a data. If you go to the supermarket, you will say there are products. So they have price. It's a data. So they have the date of manufacturing. It's a data. They have the batch number. It's a data. Right? It's a data. So as a student, your name is a data. Your contact number is a data. Your email address is a data. If you have bank account number is a data. Account balance is a data. Account type is a data. So then if someone asks what is data, what is your answer now? Do you have an advanced level answer? Someone who is doing ICT at advanced level. What is data? Still Maybe you're still thinking what should be the answer for that. Right. So it's very difficult to explain what is data without first understand what is entity. What is entity? Entity. Because data is a property of an entity. That is the definition of data. Data is attributes or properties of an entity. Data is attributes or properties of. Other thing is data is both singular and plural. So there are English nouns where you don't have plural. Oh, the both singular and plural is the same. Water, water. So similarly, data is something like that. Data singular also data, plural also data. Information is also like that. Singular also information, plural also information. Sometimes you get confused for that also. Like tree, trees, boy, boys, cat, cats, but data, data. That is something to do with English language, right? So therefore, what is data? Data is attributes. If I take data as sort of plural, or properties of an entity. Okay. So then first of all, you must know what is entity. Is entity same as data? No. Entity and data are two different things. In Sinhala, this is called Dakta. මේකට කියන්නේ භූතාර්ථ කියලා. සිංහලෙන් ඉගෙනගෙන තියෙනවා නම් ICT. භූතාර්ථ. Forget about that, okay? Forget about that bhutartha, just concentrate on entity. Because later, when you are doing database, you will learn how to draw ER diagrams and so on. Okay? Right. So what is an entity then? So entities, so this is something like if you go for the chemistry, your day one, you will learn what is element is, right? What is element or what is atom? So we are doing something like that because we are not doing chemistry or physics or economics. We are doing ICT. So therefore, obviously this must be our first topic. Just like someone learn about atom, element in the first day of in chemistry class. Right. So what is an entity then? Entity is a synonym for anything. So the technical term we use, just like atom, right? Energy. So the technical term we use in ICT for anything is entity. Right? Entity. So entity is something that we are interested. So that something can be a student, teacher, employee, goods in a supermarket, vehicle, or maybe you have account, bank account. So that anything is in ICT, we call it entity. Anything that we are interested. But you know that it's very vague word, right? Anything. So anything that we are interested. So therefore, we can categorize those entities or anythings so that we can better understand. First, we'll concentrate on what is entity. Then we can understand what is data. Because without understanding entity, you will never ever understand properly what is data is. So this anything can be living physical thing. Living physical thing. Or living physical tangible thing. Tangible can allan puluwa. Like a student, customer, employee, depend on what you are looking at. Maybe patient, teacher. That can be, I'm not talking about data, I'm talking about entities. So that anything can be a living thing. So that I'm interested about the employees. I'm interested about the customers. I'm interested about students in student management system. Okay. The second type of entities are non-living physical entities. Non-living physical entities. There's no life. but physical tangible, like a vehicle, machine, goods in a supermarket. So those are also entities. Those are also entities. Those are not having life. I hope you can understand easily what is living physical entity, non-living physical entity. The third one is the real confusing one for someone who is new to data and entities. Entity can be conceptual. There are conceptual entities. Conceptual means not tangible. It's a concept. Concept. Like love, okay, thirst. So what are those conceptual entities? Maybe a cause. Cause is not physical, right? Cause is a concept. Now you guys are attending a course. It's a concept. Order. Say you order something. It's a concept. I'm not talking about the things that you order. I'm talking about the order itself. Maybe you have ordered a smartphone. Smartphone is non-living physical thing. But your order is entity. Because order is something we are interested. We are interested about the order date, order amount, order type, then payment. Payment is entity. So we are interested in payment ID, payment date, payment amount. So these are serious stuff that we are interested. A bank account, it's an entity, it's conceptual thing. So we are interested about the account number, balance, interest rate. So now we have three type of entities: living physical, non-living physical, conceptual. Because in the very first day, you must understand what is data. Sometimes what happens is when the A-level exams are nearing, still the student doesn't know what is data is. So that means it's complete failure of education. Complete failure. Don't get into that trap. Learning too many things and not understanding anything. Not serious even about what is data. Okay. Right. Now we'll get back to data. Because why? Data is attributes or properties of an entity. So entity can be something like student, vehicle, or payment. So there are things that we are interested about entity. Those are called data. For example, I am interested about the student. But I am interested, student's name. That is a data. Price of an item, that is a data. Item is entity, student is entity, but name is a data. Price is a data. Bank account is entity. Its balance, that is a data. Now, if someone asks what is data, do you have serious answer? Because I ask you to be serious, okay? During your A level. More and more serious day by day. So what is data? Data is attributes or properties of an entity. Okay. Remember, data is always conceptual. Always conceptual. You can't touch it. Name you can't touch. Price you can't touch. Balance you can't touch. But entity can be living physical, non-living physical, or conceptual. Whereas your data is always conceptual. So therefore, when someone gives you an example, you must be able to identify whether is it a data or is it information or is it entity. That is the basic skill, right? For example, if I say hydrogen, you know that it's element that you have learned in your O level, right? But if I say water, H2O, you know that that is not element, that is a compound. Okay. So if I say something like neutron, you know that that is not a compound or element. It is particle, part of element, atom. So likewise, you must know what is data, what is information, what is entity. So entity is anything that we are interested. Data is attribute or property of a entity. So that entity can be living physical, non-living physical, or conceptual, but data is always conceptual. Okay. So never confuse data with entity. So if you are not very sure about whether it's data or entities, that means you need to think again, again, and again until you get this resolved. Right. So now we can think about data versus information. Seriously again. Seriously. So remember, data is attribute or properties of an entity. So then what is information? Because our subject is ICT. So information is processed data. Information is processed data. Simple as that. And data is attributes of an entity. Entity is anything that we are interested. So likewise, you must know how these things are related. Simple way, clearly, right? Clear, short, simple, relevant. No point talking nonsenses, right? If someone asks what is data, you must have the precise answer. If someone asks what is information, you must have precise answer. If someone asks what is entity, you must have precise answer. If they ask how do they related, interrelated, you must have explanation. That is what is mean by understanding things. That is what gives you that wings, confidence, enjoyment about when you know something, you are really happy. When you know something really well, correct. Right. So what is information? Process data. So if someone process data in a particular context, what we get is information. So then someone will ask, why do we need to process data? Why do you want to process data? So the simple answer is data is good. So we are not saying that data is bad. Data is good. But information is better. Data is useful. Makes in some cases, information is more useful. In some cases, for some people. So therefore, we don't need to always process data, but there are situations it's better to process. It's something like you have mango. It's good. Maybe sometimes you may feel, okay, let's have a slice of mango. I like it. Nothing wrong. But maybe some one day you may feel like I want to make a sort of a chutney out of that. So that is what maybe you like that. Sometimes, yes, you don't like that raw format. Maybe you don't like that raw rice. You don't like that raw flour. Maybe you prefer to have boiled rice or milk rice or bread. So bread, milk rice is like your information. Your raw rice, raw flour, raw mango is like your data. Data can be good, useful, but information can be better, more useful in proper context. So that is why we have information technology subject. Otherwise, there's no need for have ICT, IT subject. Okay. So when we process data in proper context, we get information. But remember, we are not talking about processing mango or processing raw rice. We are talking about processing data. Remember, unit price of item is a data. So then we look at each and every items unit price and into multiplied by number of items, we get the total bill amount. So that is the information. So that is what the customer is looking for. All your account transactions data, 1,000 debited, 1,000 credited, 10,000 debited, 1,000 credited. But at the end, what you are interested is your balance. So therefore, balance is sort of a data at the same time, sort of a information, because balance is calculated by adding, subtracting those amounts. The marks that you get for your A level for a particular subject, it's a data. Say how many marks you get for ICT subject, that is data. Then what about your Z score? That is information. So that is the Z score that they use to decide whether you can go to that course, this course, and so on, right? Not your individual marks. Of course, by looking at your individual marks, we can get an idea about it. But by looking at Z score, in some context, we can get a better idea about you. So I'm not saying that marks is bad. What I'm saying is, in some cases, Z score is better for decision making and so on. So that is why we need information system to convert your, calculate your total bill amount, calculate your Z scores, calculate the balance in a banking systems and so on. So now you must have very good understanding about why do we have this subject, information and communication technology. So it's all about processing data into information. Okay. So what are the usages of information? Now we are serious into your syllabus. Okay. So at the end of the session, I will just go through the syllabus and I will show you that we have covered some of the subtopics. That should be the case, right? Otherwise, we have discussed nonsense and we have not covered your syllabus. So that can happen, right? So you go to the classes, discuss so many things, but when you go through the syllabus, the topics are not covered. Right. So we can subdivide two type of information or two type of data also, depending on the usages. Some data and information we use for our personal things. So that is why you have personal computers, personal smartphones to do your personal things. Your smartphone is also a data processing device. Personal decision making. Like you can look at the weather and decide, take a decision. For example, if I go to the desktop, so right now it's not showing any weather details, but sometimes it shows the weather details here because that is important for me. Okay. So right now it is not showing for some reason. Okay. So then you have business or official usages. Maybe order amount, order related data and information, payment related data and information, student related official thing, your payments, patient related, tax related. So those are business or official usages. So we can see, you can see that the ICT or the information technology is used by for our day-to-day life, personal things, as well as official or business things. Both are industries. So don't think that it's only business places we have jobs. So what about if you work for Facebook, Instagram one day? So you are concentrating on those personal users, not the official. Maybe you are developing an accounting system, banking system. Right. So some usages, of course, there are hundreds of usages. Some serious usages of information. So we can use information for decision making. Again, personal or official. But official thing like whether to buy a particular share. Personal things like should I go in this part or that part. say information. After processing the traffic details and so on, it will show you these are the possible routes you can take. So then you take the decision. Decision making. Planning and prediction, like weather informations, economic indicators, policy making if for government and so on. Say you are working in, you are the governor of the central bank. So you need to do that policy making. You are the secretary of the Department of Finance. So policy making. So you need information. By looking at those information, reports and so on, trends, you can take decisions, plan, policy making. Right. So these are some usage scenarios. I told you data is not always bad. Data is good. But sometimes information, sometimes data is good enough. But sometimes information is what we really need. So daily rainfall data. Maybe average rainfall for a month. For each month, it's information. Sometimes the average rainfall is what we are really interested. Marks of a subject, data. Z score, information. Daily morning blood pressure level of a patient, data. Maybe monthly average, because the doctor will look at the monthly average to decide whether to increase the medication or decrease, because he or she can't take that decision by looking at just 1 day's readings, because blood pressure keeps changing. So that information, so therefore the doctor will say, take your blood pressure values each day and show it to me. So then the doctor can take that decision. So likewise, you must be able to understand, okay, this is data, this is information. Sometimes it is not always very sure, right? Sometimes you are not also very sure, is it really data or information? That is fine. But in general, you must be able to agree, this is data, this is information. This has, because we have done some in processing here, but this is raw. Okay. So let's look at what are the features of good information? Of course, information is better than data, but remember, we are living in a competitive world, whether we like it or not. Competition is there, right? So no point being a cricketer. You want to be a good cricketer, otherwise people will, right, insult you. No point being a politician. You want to be a good politician. No point being a doctor. You want to be a good doctor, otherwise there won't be any patient for you. No point being a teacher. You want to be the best teacher, or good teacher, where you have a demand. So likewise, as IT professionals, of course, then අපි කියන්නේ පන්සලට පයින් ගියවත් IT කරපුවා ඉන්නවා කියලා. 100ක් විතර. IT කාර්යෝ කියලාත් කියන සමහරවල් නේද? මොකද හැමෝම IT කරනවා. So therefore, we don't just produce the information. We want to produce the best information, good information, comparatively better information. Because we are in a competition. We are in a competition. So what are the features of good information? So it's a long list, but it's self-explanatory. So just be familiar with these words also. Effectiveness means it does the work. Like useful. It fulfill my objective. Otherwise, no point, right? That information. Sometimes you know that you get SMSs, right? You just look at it and forget about it. Sometimes you say this is bullshit. Why? It's not useful to you. So what is the purpose of that kind of information? So information must be effective, useful. And of course, information must be accurate. If it is not accurate, people will not use it. People will not use it. Say after releasing your Z scores, results, say after 2 days, examination department, assume that examination department says, okay, there can be some issues with our results. Some research scores may not be correct. So then the entire system collapse. So therefore, make sure accurate. So if your bank says there are some accuracy issues in your account balances, all of a sudden, no one trusts it. Timeliness. Timeliness means when we need the information, we need it. There must not be any delays. For example, if I do a payment, I want my SMS within 5 seconds. Before I get out of there, say I did my payment using supermarket. Before I get out of the cashier queue, I want to check whether my payment is success or not. Timeliness. Relevance. I need only relevant information. I don't need all the other bullshit. Valvatara. But I need this exact what I need. So you did this payment for this organization, this institute, it's success or fail. You want to see what is your ESET score, not essays about your ESET score. What are the results for your 3 subjects? Completeness. You must have the full information, not half of it. No point having only the results of 2 subjects, right? You need all 3 subjects. So when you get your bank statement, they can't say there are some transactions, there can be some other transactions missing. No, it must be complete, simple. People don't like complicated ways. So people want the things in a simple manner. Table, right? And so on. Accessible. If you can't access that information, that is bad. Right? If you can access it from your home, your fingertips, that is even better. For example, when I did my A-level, there was no internet at that time. I had to go to the school to check my results. Or else we need to call the Department of Examination or call school. Usually school don't answer for telephone calls because there are thousands of students. But you guys, when there's exam results are released, you go to the website and check your results, accessible. About 30, 40 years ago, when we want to do a transaction, we need to go to the bank. And banks are closed by 3 o'clock. Then we can't do it. Saturday, Sunday, no transactions. But now, even 12 noon or 12 midnight, you can do money transfer. Accessible. You can check your balance. You can check your bills. So good information is accessible. More and more accessibility is there. And good information is flexible. You can check it in a tabular format, graphical format. You can get it from your smartphone, your desktop. Flexible, not rigid, saying this is the only way to get it. Right? You can go to the bank ATM and check your balance. You can use your mobile app and check your balance. You can go to the website and check your balance. Even you can send a SMS and check your balance. Flexibility. Or you can even call the bank and check your balance after they ask few questions to verify. You can see flexibility is there. Verifiability. Can you double check that? For example, if once you get your A-level results, anyone can double check your results by entering your index number. We don't need to go send a letter to the departments of examination to verify your results. And also good informations are secure. So that is where you get the confidence to use it. Because you feel like doing online transaction is not going to, right? No one is going to break into my account. And also good information is not too expensive, economical. It's not too expensive. For example, if you want to buy a paper, Sunday paper, it will take, I don't know how much is a paper is right now, maybe 200. But if you go visit the online version, say other than the website, Daily Mirror website, free of charge. Economical. Economical. If not free, make it less expensive. Make it less expensive. Good information is reliable. Reliable means you can trust it. You can trust it. You can trust that always the system is available. You can trust that the accuracy is always there, not sometimes accurate. No. Because if it is not reliable, people will not use it. If it is not economical, people will not use it. If it is not secure, people will not use it. So likewise, we want to produce good information. Information systems having these features so that people use it. Because we are living in a competitive world. Sampath Bank is competing with Hatton National Bank. Singer is competing with Abans. Keel Super is competing with Food City. So in the competitive world, we want to give the best. Best information, good information, not just information, no, not some information. Okay. Right. So our next, we are now getting into more and more details, aspects about data and information. So what is mean by value of information? So the highest value of the information is at the information creation time. So that is why we try to release those information as quickly as possible, because when the time passes, the value goes down. For example, when you do your payment, you need, if you get that SMS within 5 seconds, that is the highest value. If you get that SMS when you go home, still it has value, but less value. Less value. Okay, so that is why we try to process data as much quickly as possible and give the results as quickly as possible. Because the highest value of the information is at the information creation time. So we don't want to delay. We don't want to delay it. Okay. Right. Finally, we'll look at the life cycle of data. Of course, this is not the end of the topic for the today's session. So data is created due to various reasons. For example, when a child is born, set of data is created. So we call it birth certificate. The name of the child, the date of birth. Okay. Sometimes you will be getting a unique number also these days. That is data creation. When you go to supermarket and you go to the cashier, every time they scan your items, new set of data is created. When you do exam, new set of data is created. Okay. When you take a loan, when you start a account, new set of data is created. So data creation can happen for many reasons. And all the time, data is created in different places. And those data is managed because people like process data. People like the total bill amount. People like their asset scores. People like the average rainfall, not the rainfall for yesterday. So therefore, we need data management manually or using computers. And after sometimes those data is no longer needed. For example, if you had visited a supermarket 5 years ago, maybe that bill details is no longer with them. They have removed your data from, because you will never go after 5 years, you never go and inquire about your order. But maybe the bank is having your transaction details for last 10-20 years. So it depends on the context. Some data we can quickly get rid of it. Some data we keep it for a little bit long. But one day or the other, we will get rid of those data. Do you think that your grade 1 attendance details are still with the school? I don't think so. Okay. So therefore, this always happening. New set of data is always created, processed, and gradually data is removed. And some data we keep. Some data we keep. Not all the data. Little bit longer or sometimes very long time. So that is called data mining. You know, there's another area in ICT called data science. It's a big area these days, data science, data analytics. So that is where we analyze these historical data to find out trends, marketing, research, financial trends, and so on. Right. So we discuss about what is entity, what is data, what is information, what are the features of good information and data, and life cycle of data. So next class we'll continue with communication, because that is also part of your subject, information and communication technology. Then we'll look at what is a system is, okay? What is system, what is computer system, what is computer-based information system, what is manual information system. So evolution from manual information system to computer-based information systems. And little bit more details about the data processing cycle, different types of data, structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. And different type of processing like batch processing versus online real time, and bit of nutrient. So that will be your, not the end of the topic 1, the topic 1.1. Okay. But anyway, we'll go through that next time, and parallelly we'll start introduction to computer. So this is how our subject goes. Now let's quickly go through the syllabus again and see whether we have covered at least some of those things mentioned in the syllabus, because no point me talking unless we cover your syllabus. Okay, we cover your syllabus. Right, so definitely we discuss about the life cycle. This is 1.1, life cycle of data, data versus information, definition of information, characteristic of valuable information. Okay, so still we have not discussed about the need for handling large volume of data like big data, no, not yet. Right, so a bit of the usages like decision making, policy making, predictions. Okay, so emergence of ICT era. Okay, so some of those things we have covered. Of course, we don't cover from top to bottom because there's a flow is different. But at the end, we must have covered all these things. Okay, so still we have not discussed the abstract model of information creation, input, process, output. So these things we will be covering in the next class. Next class. Those things will cover into your 1.2, 1.3, like application of ICT, issues with ICT, ethical and moral aspects like licensing, copyrights, and so on. So this is how we go. Okay. So still you will not be able to do the quiz. Maybe you can do some of the quiz questions, right? But not all the questions. Maybe you can do with maybe the first 5 questions in the quiz. Okay, first 5 questions in the quiz. Right, anyway, we'll not do the quiz today because we are in the middle. So this is how our class goes on. So we will be parallel doing 2 sessions, ICT and computer. Okay, so then we'll move on to representing data and so on. So we stop at this point, right? So those who have not received the Google Classroom invitation, just let me know. And if you have got the invitation, make sure you accept the invitation and join the Google Classroom. Okay, right. We stop at this point, right?